As I wonder about this phrase, one thing needed, one thing necessary, I think of a forefather in our Methodist faith, which is John Wesley. One of his early sermons had this very title. It was on this very verse. The sermon title was "The One Thing Needful." And in that sermon, Wesley explains that he believes that the one thing needful is the renewal of God's image in us. There's so much that can get in the way of our realizing and sharing the image of God in us. Perhaps things like Martha's worry and anxiety, perhaps her wish for her sister to do something differently, though her sister is not someone she controls or can sway from doing the thing that Mary feels she needs to do. And yet Jesus sees her. Martha, Martha. The one thing needful is for her to trust the image of God in her that calls her into ministry, that calls her into serving others, including serving Jesus at her house. The one thing needful is to trust the image of God in her that gives her valuable work to do. Not Mary's work, not work that depends on Mary being with her, not work that overburdens her, but her own ministry, her own expression of following Jesus. Martha has a good portion that cannot be taken away from her. I think this story is speaking into that space between the extremes of faith and works. Jesus is inviting us to have faith that we are seen and known and called by name. Jesus is welcoming us to sit at his feet and to learn from him. He's welcoming us to give our worry and anxiety to him. He's encouraging us to trust the image of God in us, to trust that God has a good portion for us, to trust that we can't do everything. Not everything is ours to do, but we can do something. So as you go into your week and continue to reflect on this passage, both the kind of more traditional interpretation that the kids shared and also this alternative understanding of what Jesus might be saying to Martha, as you continue to reflect on it, what is it that is yours to do? What is one cause God is inviting you to commit to? What is one ministry God is calling you to engage in? Who is one person God is drawing you to help? You are made in God's image. You are part of God's whole. That can't be taken away.